Today we have Bill Globe. Welcome to Black Tech and TV, Bill.
Thank you for having me here.
So, for the people that don't know you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Bill Globe. I'm from San Diego, California. I was born July the 22nd, 1949. So my dad is Willie Globe Sr. and my beautiful mother, Florida Mae Globe.
So what was it like growing up in San Diego, California?
San Diego was a really nice place to grow up at because you got sunshine and the weather's always good. And you could always, it'd have a rain and every now and then, but not too much. The only time you see snow is you go to the mountains. But through all that of living in San Diego, I've had, we had beautiful beaches and stuff that you could go and be a part of. And we had some of the beautiful parks that they have there. And one of the parks is Balboa Park, which I worked at for a city employee. For over 13 years, and coming up with my children, not my children, but my siblings, my brothers and my sisters, my brother Michael, my brother Kenny, and my sister Denise, and my brother Greg, and my sister Kim was a family of my siblings and stuff, and through those years and stuff, we had some tragedies along the way with Kenneth and with my brother Michael and my sister Kim. We had some tragedies with them, but through it all, though, we managed to survive through all that, and we stayed together as a family, and we was looking and trusting in each other, and after a while, I had a time where my life had changed, and I went to start doing adolescent things and doing things to get in trouble, and that caused me to end up going to detentions, and then through all that, I ended up going to prison, which I did a little time, and me and my brother both had them kind of incidents where we was taken up out of the family because we was doing some stupid things that was caused us to be, taken from the family at the time. But over the years and stuff, we kind of got it together. We turned that part of our life around, and we started, I got married and stuff. Had children, and matter of fact, I got 7 children, and I got maybe 20 something great grandchildren and great grandchildren, and just a whole mess of great grandchildren and children, over the lifetime, and just being, at this age that I am right now, 75 years old, so, and having a family and just living a real decent life at this time. At one point, I became a born again Christian. I started, living for Christ and stuff, which I think that kind of turned my life around a whole lot too, because I had something that was way different than what I was living at that time. That something that I'd start trusting in, and just start making me be a believer, to knowing that, hey, there's something greater than me. There's something that would help me. So that kind of changed my life around. Then I became a pastor into a church and stuff, and we started, having Bible study, preaching the Word of God, and having a choir and all that. But through it all, and with that, all my children was in the church with me. So all my daughters, my sons, and some of my grandchildren, some of my cousins and nieces and stuff, they was all part of that. They would come. It was more or less like a family church at that time. One of the only family churches in San Diego that had that many people of a family in the church. So that was really healthy for me, and, seeing my growth and changing my life and the things that I was living, because, I've started living differently and started doing things that wasn't, causing me to harm myself or harm my family from being taken away from the family at the time. So we, had really good, not a really good, but we finally got it where we can understand that, hey, we have to change our life. We have to do things different. There's things that we don't need to do that would cause us to be away from the family. But now we're working for the city of San Diego, versus where I didn't work at all because thought I was too, I thought I was a hustler, but come to find out I was a bad hustler because that didn't work. And all the time you end up going to prison. If you were supposed to be a hustler and you go into jail, then you are a bad hustler,
You're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong, and that was the fact of the matter, that you was just doing stuff wrong. And when you do wrong, you're going to have to pay for your wrong. So
they got a saying.
Yeah.
Ain't no right way to do something wrong.
Ain't no right way to do something wrong. Yeah. And you're always going to get caught up with it because you're going to have to face the consequences of you being a bad criminal. Mm-hmm. And most of the time we think we can get away with stuff, but you can't get away with nothing in this world, you know?
Yeah. So you mentioned your brother and your siblings.
Yes.
Who's the oldest?
Michael was the oldest brother. Michael was a year older than I, and we was really close at the time, when we was coming up. I remember a couple of times we went to, I hate to say it, to Santa Claus. The grandma and them took to sit on Santa Claus' lap, which was kind of, when you look back at it now, knowing all that stuff was fake and stuff, but hey, it was a learning process.
It's a memory.
Yeah, it was a memory and stuff,
that's more than anything. That's more than anything, whether it's fake or not.
Yeah, and then, I can share it with my children and stuff, hey, that this was, this is how I grew up, but, was trusting and believing in this kind of stuff. Not so much trusting and believing, but this is what my parents presented it to us,
Yeah. Like all of us.
Like all of us, yeah. Our parents would always, want us to be comfortable in what we was living and stuff. And they want us to be just like everybody else, the Joneses and stuff. Everybody wanted this kind of life and stuff, where you thought that just Santa Claus or whatever, but that was just that life at that time.
It still is.
Yeah, and it still is with people, Mm-hmm. But, we embraced it at that time, but then we, as we got older, we kind of got away from all that, and then me and my brother, we both went to the prison and stuff, but, over the years that we had got older and stuff, we came out of prison lifestyle and started doing things right and stuff. And, I think it was 1980 was the last time I was in prison or anything. So it's been a good run for me, knowing that, hey, that's not the kind of life I need to live, so now, it's just all about, hey, my family, my grandchildren, my nieces, my nephews and stuff is looking at me because I'm the patriarch in this family right now, I'm the oldest out of everybody in this family at this point because everybody else is gone now, so I'm the only one, I'm the patriarch here. And, they all look up to me and they have respect for me and stuff, even though they could have a little more respect for me being the patriarch and everything in the family. But still, I see that some of the things that they do, they'll stay away because they don't want me to see the wrong that they do,
As with all families.
Oh, yeah.
So what type of person was your brother, Michael?
Michael was a very outgoing kind of guy, He loved his children. He didn't have any children at the time, but he loved all his nieces, all his, all the nieces and stuff that he had. He loved them. They loved him and stuff. He was always there for them. If they wanted something, he would get it for them. He would buy them ice creams and stuff. He would buy them candies and stuff. He would buy them chips and stuff. He would spend time with them and, just being in their life and stuff, letting them know that he loved them and stuff, So he had a really good heart and stuff towards my grandchildren and my children, and which would be his nieces and nephews and stuff. So yeah, he really had a good heart towards them.
Getting back to your brother, Michael, he's the oldest, right?
Right.
And then he passed away.
Yes.
So how did his passing affect you?
Wow, that really, I truly remember that because it's been almost 5 years now, I think, since that happened. But I was the last one that, sort of like made the last decision on, you know, him being in the state that he was, where he was really, sick. He got real sick. It affected him where he couldn't eat a lot of stuff. I remember a lot of times, the only way he could eat, he had to smoke weed so he could get the appetite. That's what, they told him that he could do, could smoke the weed that would help him have an appetite. So, yeah. And then he stayed with me a few times. He feel for a while after he got, when he was out before he got sick, he stayed with me and stuff. So we was, around each other a lot during that time.
So at least you got to enjoy him.
Yeah.
Around his last moments.
Exactly. Yeah, we spent a lot of time, and then it really, when I went to the hospital and stuff and seen him and stuff, it just broke my heart to see him like that, because I know, hey, he wasn't going to be around no more, And it's just one of those brotherly love things that, hey, we all somewhat encounter when we have to deal with stuff like that. So it was really hard at that time, because here's somebody that I grew up with. We was always together and stuff when we was young. And I remember one time we had, every time Christmas time, Grandma would always have us all hooked up with the 2 guns, the hat, the vest, and the spurs and everything. We were just youngsters, but hey, she was there for us like that.
So what's one of the your fondest memories of Michael?
Ooh. How sharp he could dress a lot of time. How he dressed. He was always dressed real nice. He liked dressing really nice. Every time you see him, he was always dressed really nice and stuff. And he had a head full of hair, and he protected that hair that he had. He loved that hair that he had.
That was his superpower.
That was his superpower right there, that hair. But he had a nice great hair and stuff. It was, very thick and everything. He didn't have no receding hairlines and nothing. He just had the hair and the look with the hair.
So he was a handsome guy.
He was a handsome guy.
Got all the women.
Yeah, he had a few of them. He had a few nice looking women.
Ladies man, huh?
Yeah. He had some beautiful girls too that I can remember that that he was involved with. That was all of them that I met was really nice looking girls. Yeah, real nice looking girls. I don't want to call their names and that.
No, we ain't got to call their names.
Yeah.
So what about your brother Kenny? You mentioned him too.
Yes, Kenny was a really outgoing guy. He was right up under me, 2 years up under me, and his life ended very shortly. With playing with a sawed-off shotgun, him and another friend, and come to find out that they was playing and the gun went off accidentally, I could say. And just took his life instantly. And at that time, my mother and my dad got wind that it had happened, and he was hurt like that. And they rushed down there and got him and rushed him to the hospital. My mom's crying, and my dad driving and honking the horn, bam, 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 let him know he's coming through. It's an emergency, and he's getting to the hospital. And when they got there, on arrival at the hospital, he had passed away.
Yeah, that's definitely tragic.
Yeah. So that was really one of the tragedies. And the sad thing about it, at that time in 1967, I had caught a little misdemeanor case, and I was in jail. And one of the every day they bring the newspaper to the cell in which we was at, And one of the guys that was a cousin of mine, he was in there with me. And he was reading the paper that morning, and he got up out of from reading the paper and came over to me. I was laying in the rack there. He said, "Hey, Bill, look at this." And I looked at it, I read it. It was a fatal shooting in San Diego, and I read the whole, scene of the thing, and it said my brother Kenny had been fatally shot. And it seemed like everybody up in there, felt my hurt, my pain and stuff, because all the other inmates and everything in there, they just gravitated around me, and showed me love and stuff, that they felt my hurt and stuff, and after that, it was just, I ended up getting up out of there because they went to the chapel and everything, and went back to the court and everything. The little case that I had, they dropped that and let me go. We went to the funeral and everything. One of the biggest funerals at that time in San Diego was that 16-year-old's funeral. My brother Kenny, he passed away. But I tell you, that was the first time I ever seen that kind of crowd in San Diego at all for somebody that passed away.
So you heard about your brother's death in jail.
In jail.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
At least they let you out.
Yeah,
at least they showed some type of compassion for you, dropped the charges and let you go be with your family. Because a lot of people don't even get to experience that.
Exactly.
So that was, I guess you could say a silver lining in the tragedy.
Amen.
But that's horrible.
Yeah, that was really something that was special, that they did, consider that, hey, even though it was just a little misdemeanor, but they didn't, they just dropped the charges and everything, let me out, and, we had to go to the funeral, which was way more harder than being up in there like that, so it all turned out for the best, and then after that, I think, we had another tragedy. My sister Kim was found in her house, passed out dead,
Man.
Yeah.
Your sister?
Yeah, my sister, my baby, she younger than, she was my baby sister. Yeah. Yeah, the last girl.
So do you have any nieces and nephews with your remaining brother?
Yeah, I have a niece, Jackie. Jackie's my niece that I just found out about her within the last, couple of years and a half, maybe, that we've been communicating through DNA, which we found one another. We've been, for the last 2.5 years, we've been communicating on a regular basis, Matter of fact, she's one of my favorite nieces now. Since I met her and found her, man, I just got so much love for her because I see her, and I know how my brother would have reacted to her. So that same kind of love that, I know my brother would have gave to her is getting for it. I'm giving it to her like that because I know, how he would have felt about her. So I feel the same way about her because she's very, very special to me, in that way,
So you had 3 brothers. Two or three brothers?
3 brothers.
3 brothers.
Yeah.
Kenny, Michael,
and Greg. Yeah.
So do you have any nieces or nephews with Greg?
Yes, I have 2 nieces and a nephew.
With Greg?
Gregory Jr. and Greg.
So is Greg, is he the youngest?
Greg's the youngest of the 2 girls, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many children do you have?
I have 7.
7 children?
Yeah, 7 children. I have my daughter Marie, my daughter Nicole, my daughter Michelle, Misha, and Lashina, and I got Rayshawn, and I have Kenny. Yeah, those are all my children.
So your youngest brother, his name was Kenny.
Yes, his name was Kenny.
So you named your son after Kenny?
Exactly, yes. I named him after Kenny had passed. And me and my wife, Virgie, had a son. And I preferred to name him, and I named him after my brother Kenny that had passed away.
Yeah, that's a great way to honor somebody that you lost early like that.
Yeah, because he was special. He was just somebody that was, in the wrong place at the wrong time. And when he passed away, the guy that accidentally killed him wanted to make like, he had killed somebody. And, he was proud of what he had did and stuff. But we know better than that because my mother went to the juvenile detention center where he was humble, where he was crying and broke down, kind of what had happened, because he had killed his friend. And it was just an accident, but yet, he wanted to make it like he had killed somebody.
Like he was tough.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to get a reputation off killing his friend.
Yeah.
When he know he did it on an accident.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's real horrible. And then the sad thing about that, he started having a lot of deaths in his family too after that.
Oh, so it's like karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since you want to try to brag and then you didn't, this was really an accident.
That part right there.
So you created negative energy.
Negative energy. Because all his brothers, there was about 4 of them, one after another start passing away. It was sad, I didn't really, appreciate that. I didn't really like that.
You didn't want to see him go through what you and your family had to go through.
Exactly.
But it was, that's just life.
That karma, and it happened like that, so it was just one of those things that, hey, what they say, you reap what you sow.
Definitely.
You got to be real careful about how you do stuff with people and stuff and think that it might not come back at you, but it will.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned one of your nieces, Jackie, and she was the daughter of
Michael.
So when did you first learn about Jackie? Did Michael get a chance to meet Jackie, or how did that play out?
Michael never got a chance to meet Jackie. How Jackie came.
Did he even know that he had a daughter?
He didn't even know she even existed for never in his lifetime. As long as as long as he was alive, he never knew that he had a daughter.
So what was your initial reaction when you found out?
When I found out, I was filled with joy. That hey, here's somebody that I can feel the life of my brother through. This was his daughter. This was his blood. This was part of me as my family, because she's she got the same blood that I got. And if she had been in our family when she was younger, when we could have met her, it would have been a whole lot of difference. And, and for my mother, my grandmother, and not only that, for my brother Michael, go ahead.
So how old is Jackie when you met her?
Jackie was, I think, 52 years old.
52.
Yeah.
So she's been on the earth for 52 years. Your brother never knew he had a daughter. You never knew this was your niece. So what kind of emotion surfaced when you realized that when you was like, man, my brother never knew that he had a daughter? Like, what kind of emotions did that stir up in you?
Yeah, that was one of the hurtful things, to encounter with someone that had went through the stuff that she had went through, and then my brother to not even never know that she even existed, and then, all the stuff that she had to go through, and finding who I was, because through her and the DNA and thing that they did, we came together through, I had a niece, I had a cousin, had some cousins, and I had a nephew doing DNA, what they call it? Ancestry at the same time, in which it connected to, either me or Michael was her dad.
Oh, so you had family that was already submitted their DNA for reasons that had nothing to do with Jackie.
Right.
Jackie started doing the DNA.
Right.
And she got a match with your nieces and nephew.
Yes.
And the only probable father was either you or your brother.
Exactly.
Did you think you was the dad?
No, I knew I wasn't the dad. But if I had been, it would have been all right, because that would have been my daughter too, But the sad thing about it is that, hey, when she was doing all this, I got a chance to find out, which I never knew, who my granddaddy was.
Oh, so you was able to.
I was able to find somebody, yeah, and some uncles and nephews, some uncles and aunties that I never knew about, because I never knew but she had all the information, because she had my great grandfather, she had my grandmother, and all the people that she encountered through the DNA and everything that she got, all that, she sent all that stuff to me, and I had firsthand and seeing you my people. This was through the bloodline of where I came from, and you're part of that, and the match was 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know who Jackie's mother was? Was she a friend or?
Yes.
Because you already mentioned that, Michael,
the
women loved him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
Were you able to figure out who the mom was?
Yes. The mother, come to find out, was a friend of ours. We've been knowing Sharon, matter of fact, named Sharon Gibson. And brother Aaron and the other sisters that are Jackie's, the whole family with Charlotte, Killer, and all those. We are very familiar with them in growing up in San Diego, where we communicated a lot with them over the years, because me and I think Aaron and Sharon, we all went to the same junior high school at one time, and we was all in that kind of, setting where we was around each other, but we wasn't, hanging out to the point where we would be with each other every day, but we knew about one another, we seen one another and stuff.
So how did Jackie get disconnected from the family?
Jackie was put up for adoption at birth, sadly to say. That's how, she, went through her life, not knowing who her mother was, who her dad was, because her mother put her up for adoption at birth. When she was brought into the world, she was given away to the world, and they didn't ever know where she was at. And I think she told me, I think after 20-something years, she found out who her mother was. And then she started, looking, once she found out who her mother was, she wanted to know who her dad was. So she had a lot of things that was going on in her life that she was unaware of, but she was determined to find out. And she just kept on until she really found out, who her dad was. Because she was a lot of people that was presented to her as could be the dad, but never turned out to be dad.
So the mom, Sharon Gibson,
yes,
never told her who her dad was?
Never told her who her dad was.
Do you think Sharon knew who her dad was?
There's one instance where my brother, it's really sad, when my brother, we was doing a memorial for him at the mortuary where he was at. And throughout San Diego, I put out a notice, that we was going to have this memorial. And Sharon showed up to the memorial. Her and Aaron, they came and, and showing respect for Michael and stuff because they knew him and stuff. But there was one incident in there while was having the reading and stuff, the word, and, and putting him to rest and stuff, where Sharon was sitting next to one of my daughters, Marie, and she was broken, crying her heart out, just couldn't bear what was going on in there. And she just was, really crying out, and my daughter's wondering, why is she crying like this? What's going on with her, and she didn't know that she knew her like that. And also Virgie, my wife Virgie and Sharon, it was good friends over the years. They was, they was very good friends and they knew each other really well. But not one time that Sharon ever came to my wife and told her about, Michael and her.
Because at some point, Jackie, she found Sharon.
She found Sharon.
So Sharon knew about Jackie after that.
Yes.
So you said Sharon and your wife were like what? Best friends?
Best friends. Real good friends.
And she never mentioned to Virgie that she found her daughter or her daughter found her after 20 years. She never said, well, even probably longer than that, but she never even mentioned that to Virgie.
Not one time did she ever mention that to Virgie. They was around each other a lot. I mean, a lot. Almost every time we see Sharon, we embrace, hug, and, hey, Sharon, how you doing? Hey, and then, me and Sharon, Sharon, when I played golf and stuff, and Sharon was like, she wanted to sponsor me and my homeboy, just kidding around and stuff like that. But not one time after this all had happened did Sharon ever come to us and let us know that, hey, that she had a daughter or that she, and her and Michael, was together like that,
But at the memorial,
yeah,
that kind of stood out to you to see her crying like that.
Yeah.
And then after you reunited with Jackie, you kind of put two and two together.
Yes.
And it kind of seemed like that's why she was crying, because maybe it was a secret that she had been keeping from you, your brother and your family.
Yeah. And then at one point at the every year at Labor Day or Memorial Day, they have a OG Sandbox thing where Aaron Gibson and the OG Sandbox thing. So I went down there one time after I met Jackie and everything and knew who Jackie was. And I went down there and I seen Aaron, and Aaron knew about what was going on with Jackie and her mother Sharon, right? And the first thing he said, he told me when me and him had this conversation about Jackie, he said, yeah, I remember Jackie and your brother staying at my house.
Oh, Sharon.
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 Yeah, Jackie. Yeah, no, not Jackie, but Sharon and your brother staying at my house.
We at the OG picnic.
Yeah.
You see Aaron?
Yes.
And he's telling you, he never told you that Sharon found a daughter, but he knew Jackie, right?
Yes.
But he didn't know who the father was.
He didn't never know the father.
So he say?
Yeah, so he say, until he seen me one day at the park, then it all came back to remembrance that he had seen them at the house where he was staying, where Jackie and Michael was spending time at his house. Not Jackie, but Sharon and Michael was spending time at his house.
So how long before this did Uncle Aaron know Jackie? Like how long, what has it been since Jackie found her mom?
Oh, he had been knowing her for quite a while now. I think since Jackie was 21 years old. I think 21 years, I think it was something like that.
Mm-hmm. That she found Aaron.
That she found Aaron.
And miraculously,
yes.
I just all of a sudden, this is after everybody already know.
Miraculously.
Yeah, everybody already know that Michael's her dad.
Right.
And now all of a sudden when he see you,
yeah,
I do remember.
That's it.
They was at my house.
That's how he put it to me.
But the whole time, I'm sure Jackie asking questions.
He didn't know.
And he ain't know.
Yeah, he didn't know, man.
So those type of things will make you wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that made me wonder.
What's really going on? What's the real truth?
Right.
Yeah, that they knew and was just holding on to the secret for sharing or something for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, because it had Jackie in it. In wondering, why is this all happening? She wanted to know who her dad was,
So she knew these people for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that when she found out who her mom was, her dad was still alive.
Still alive.
What about her grandmother?
Still alive.
How many people in this 20-year span was deprived of meeting Jackie?
The whole entire family. The cousins and everybody that are of age right now. Yeah, they got grandkids and children and stuff. Yeah, they could have known about Jackie, 30, 40 years ago.
And your mom could have known about it.
My mom's could have known. My grandmother could have known. My dad probably could have even known too, that he had a granddaughter by Michael, Yeah, that there was man, that was sad, that happened in that manner,
How you think Michael would have felt if he would have found out that he had a daughter?
Yeah, Michael, man, it would have changed his life, I think, It would have changed his life. I mean, because he used to always tell me, because I had all these kids, he would always tell me, he said, man, I wish I had a kid. I wish I had a baby and stuff,
And the whole time he had
one. The whole time he had one.
Are your children older than Jackie?
Jackie's the oldest out of everybody. She's the oldest out of all the children of my children. Everybody. She was the oldest. I got daughters right up under her. Maybe a year at the most up under Jackie. But Jackie was the first grandbaby, or great grandbaby out of all the children.
So, have you ever had the chance to talk to Sharon about this situation?
No, she would never. Out of all the times I've seen Sharon, not one time did she ever come to me and say, hey, I had a baby by your brother Michael. What about after you
found out that Jackie was here? Did you get a chance to talk to Sharon?
No, never.
Why not?
Never, because she had passed away.
Oh, so she passed away.
Yeah, she had passed away.
She passed away and was never able to give an explanation about why she did what she did or why she kept this from your family. Yeah. Because it's obviously it's obvious that she was holding on to something because of that memorial situation that stood out to you. And at that time, you had no idea of why she was crying
crying like that.
Yeah, you know? But now you know.
Other than she knew Michael.
Right.
I know she knew him, but
not to that extent.
Not to that extent where you just crying like that.
Because you're hiding something.
Yes.
And it's hurting you.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could feel in your heart that she knew who Jackie's dad was the whole time.
The whole time.
Why do you think that she made the decision to get Jackie up like that? I mean, how would your family have to embrace Jackie if they would have known that she was here?
Man, they would embrace Jackie. Jackie would have, it would have been no doubt from the first time, because my mother took my daughter, Nicole, in, and her sister in at that time. So Jackie wouldn't have been no different than them.
Wouldn't have been an issue.
Wouldn't have been an issue. They would have loved her from the day that they found. And then she would have been the first grandbaby too.
So she would have got spoiled like Michael.
Spoiled like Michael.
So Michael was the oldest. He would have had the oldest.
Oh man. Jackie would have been, oh man, but hey, it didn't turn out like that because somebody was negligent. How you say it? Negligence, yeah, on their part.
Yeah.
They didn't really, contribute to what could have, been a better. Everybody would have known who Jackie was at that time.
And she would have known who her family was.
She would have known who her family was,
So, can you describe what it was like when you first met Jackie?
Oh man, that was one of the most beautiful things. Matter of fact, when after he did the DNA, I kept waiting for the answer to come back. I said, wow, because I didn't gave my DNA, because I'm the one that gave the DNA for it to be factual that hey, I was her uncle, that I was the uncle because they didn't have nobody else but me.
Or the dad.
As well, the dad. They had no dad. Or not the dad. Yeah.
Or the dad.
It had to be one. Yeah. But after that, hey, matter of fact, I was waiting for it. Then Michelle, the one that was doing the ancestry DNA, she called me. She says, she's your niece. I immediately got off the phone with her and called Jackie and let her know, you are my niece. I said it just like that. And she said, yeah, I know. Real soft, but I could feel it in her that, hey, there was something lifted up off of her at that time too. Cause now she knew, and from that time on, after that, we've been talking forever, every day. We talk sometimes for hours, I mean, that's just that relationship that we have,
Does she remind you of your brother in any way?
Yeah, she do. She can be real kind of quiet and a little subtle a little bit, but her heart is good, Her heart is really good. She's a really wonderful person. I love her, Yes.
What about your grandmother, your mother? Does she remind you of them, or do they have any similarities or anything in life?
The reason why she looks just like my mother. That's how all my people, when I showed the picture of her to my nieces, my cousins, and all those that know my mother, they seen Jackie's picture, they all of them would say, she looked like Grammy, she looked like Grandma, she looked like this one, but it all would refer back to her looking like my mother, which she does,
So when was Jackie born?
She was born in San Diego.
What year?
50, what? 50. I'm not sure. 50 what?
She's
55.
Okay, so she was born in 69.
69, yeah. She was born in 1969.
What day?
I'm not sure.
So I was told that she shares a birthday with somebody in your family.
Ooh, man, she shares a birthday. Jackie shares a birthday with my grandmother. January the 10th, 1969 And my grandmother would have been almost 105 years old right now, and she would have been alive right now. But they say they share the same exact birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the icing on the cake.
That there's the icing on the cake.
Because a lot of people share birthdays with members of their family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But this one came about in such a time where, you can't be, it can't be denied.
Right.
You know.
Right. Nobody knew she even existed.
Nobody knew she existed.
And then she pop up looking like your mom, share the birthday with your grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, those kind of things, you
can't
deny, So when I found out that, she was my niece, man, it's been, hey, me and her, we always talk. We talk 2-3 times a day sometimes. And every day, she, either I call her or she call me. This been going on for a couple of years and a half now since I know who she is,
How has reconnecting with your niece affected you and your family?
Oh, it's been beautiful, because Jackie, she know all of my family. She know all of my nieces. She know all my cousins. She know everybody that tapped in to who Jackie is, because she got that similarity, that look like they grandmama, they grandmama, they auntie, that look that she has, that, that she got from the Globe side of the family, and they just love her to death, all of them.
Have you shared any stories with Jackie about your brother, her father?
Yes, I have. We talked about, some of the things that she asked me about, in his life and stuff, some of it, it was kind of hard to tell about, but that's what it was. He wasn't there all the time, but I know that if he had knew that he had her a long time ago when she was first born, he might have cut out a whole lot of stuff that he was doing in his life, that he could pay more attention to somebody, this person here.
Yeah.
There's a person in his life that he could care more about than, just caring about himself at the time, and he probably would have did, I know he would have did things way different than he was doing, because he'd have somebody that he could care about,
He had something else to live for besides himself.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how do you think that, the timing of the discovery after so many years, how do you feel about that? That it took, 50 years before you found out that you had a niece.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That's sad. That's really sad. And it's hurtful too. Cause I know, after hearing everything that happened, with her and all the stuff that she had to go through, even though she went to foster care and she went to, living with different people and stuff, that wasn't her immediate family and stuff, even though she adapted and they loved her, they took care of her and stuff, they brought her up, they treated, for the most part, they treated her the best as they knew how to treat her, and she adjusted to that, and, but then, her being the kind of person she is, she started making things happen for her own self. She started being her own person. She started being somebody that she knew that she had to trust in herself more than she had to trust in other people. Right. So she put that stuff all together, and hey, she turned out beautiful, Yeah, Jackie is a beautiful person, Jackie got character. Jackie is smart. She's a registered nurse. My niece is somebody, And I just love that, about her, how she, even though she went through all the stuff that she went through, even though, it couldn't have went like that, for her in different situations and stuff, for her coming up and stuff. But, she figured it all out, cause none of that was her fault, how it went. But, hey, she had to learn how to deal with that. And she came out, man, very good, She's a nurse. She's hey, she's somebody today, and she's proud of herself, and I'm proud of her too, because I know, hey, this wasn't easy for her,
Yeah.
She made a way out of no way,
Yeah, that's what they say. Pressures make diamonds.
Pressures make, she's a diamond, man. I tell you, and it's just beautiful, to be here with her, and, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm in Chicago with her right now. What y'all know. Yeah, so that's how beautiful she is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she want her uncle to be here with her, and hey, we're here,
That's good. That's a good thing. So you had a chance to meet all your great nieces and nephews?
Got the chance to meet all my and my favorite great nephew is Legend, smiling Legend. I just say that little guy right there that got so much charisma. How you say charisma? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just a joy to be around to see him, and the way he act and stuff. And I see his great granddaddy in him a little bit. That's his granddaddy. I see my brother in him, and I see my brother even in Jackie's son Omari and stuff. This is my nephew. My great nephew. These are people that I didn't have a chance to encounter when I was coming up and Jackie was coming, but now hey, I have an opportunity to embrace them and let them know that hey, their uncle loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think your brother would be proud to know that he had a daughter?
Yo, yeah, man. He would be real proud to know that he had Jackie, man, and he would just loved her to death, Yeah, he would just loved her to death. I could just see him, and I know, man, my brother, how he would have reacted to her, because he loved children, he loved children, and all my nieces and all his nieces and nephews and stuff, they love being around Michael, Uncle Michael, that's what Uncle Michael, and he catered to all of them, whatever they might want, son, come on, let's go. He'd take 3 or 4 of them to the store and stuff, and buy him stuff,
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of uncle he was,
Always looking for
considerate, yeah.
Looking for the daughter or the son that he never had.
Exactly.
And he kind of exerted that with your children,
exactly.
His nieces and nephews.
Yeah, that's how he exerted that, And you could tell by the way he treated the, the tenderness, the lovingness, that he cared about them, because he was missing what he already had and didn't even know.
Yeah, what he was longing for. He didn't even know it was here the whole time.
Yeah.
So if your brother was here right now, or not even here right now, if there's something that you could say to your brother, like you had the opportunity, he listening, and you wanted to tell him something, after meeting his daughter, meeting her children, his grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, what would you say to him?
I would tell my brother Michael, you'd be very proud of your daughter. You would be very proud of your grandson Omari, man. He dark skinned like you, man. He's athletic, man. And your granddaughter Tashayla, man. She's a master at doing hair. You got your granddaughter Risha. Oh man, her personality, man, is bigger than life, man. She's just somebody, man, you would just enjoy. You would enjoy just being around her like that, And then I have to say about my Ashley, your uncle loved you. He missed you. He missed seeing you. If I don't see you today, no time, I miss seeing you. But hey, we love you, and I know my brother would have loved you too. Yeah.
Hey, so with that being said, rest in peace, Michael Globe.
Rest in peace, Mike. Amen. Yes, rest in peace, because all your nieces is your nephew, your grandchildren. I keep saying it's your grandchildren. They would have been, very, very proud of you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so Mr. Bill, Globe.
Yes.
Hey, it's a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to you coming back.
We will be back.
We really enjoy having you. Welcome to the family.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that, man.